Welcome to Ignite Success. I'm your host, Snowden McFall, 25-year professional speaker, 6-time author, coach, and stress expert. And I want to talk to you today about one of the biggest forms of stress at this time of year. And that is when you're dealing with the holidays and families get together and they fight and they have confrontations. I know this personally very well. I grew up in a family where alcohol was always present, always over-imbibed when I was a child, and the ensuing fights and battles and arguments were very unpleasant. It got to be to the point where I didn't even want to go home for the holidays when I was away at school. And so I understand really well how families can be in the midst of arguments and confrontations during the holidays and how much stress that creates for everybody. So what can you do if that's something that shows up in your family around the holidays? There are a lot of great solutions. One of the best things you can do is to stay in a hotel. I know that sounds a little extreme, but it actually is a great thing. If you stay in a hotel, you can make it kind of like a mini vacation for you and your partner. You are not subject to all the rules and regulations of the household where you grew up in, and you can come and go as you please. You definitely want to rent your own car. You don't want to be at the mercy of having people drive you around and be stuck someplace, because that's no fun. I can tell you that from experience. Always avoid unpleasant conversations. And in today's world, that means politics. Stay away from politics. I adore my husband's family and we spend the holidays with them at Christmas. But we know, don't talk politics because we have vastly different views. And you can set up guidelines if you're the host to have a no politics zone, a no fighting zone, and a no arguing zone. If you have some family members that you know are always at each other's throats, hopefully just figuratively, not literally, talk to them in advance and ask them to set aside their differences and focus on what they appreciate about each other and avoid getting into fights. If they don't think they can do that, consider not inviting them. Because whenever there's even one fight at a family gathering, it ruins the event for everybody else. And it's just not worth it. So you can set boundaries and you can make rules and guidelines for people. And take time out for yourself. I adore my husband's family, but when we get together, it's about 45 people. And it's usually just me and my husband living with our 2 cats. So to be around 45 people for all day long in the holidays is a little overwhelming for me. So I take time outs. I go and take naps. I go and meditate. I go for a walk outside. It just calms me down. It quiets me. It brings me into center. And that's something that you can do as well. To bring your family closer, you might want to consider a gratitude game. And that's where you put together the list of everybody's name who's going to be there, and you put them on individual slips of paper in a basket or a bowl. And everybody draws the name of a person, and they share what they appreciate most about the person. Now, you have to set some guidelines and ground rules and make sure that it's not humorous or it's not making fun of someone, but it's legitimately something that they appreciate and care about the other person. It's very powerful. People are often very surprised what they are appreciated for, and they had no idea that that family member actually felt that way. It can be very moving. You can also have fun games that keep things going while the food is cooking. So, for example, you might have hide in plain sight. My father-in-law is brilliant at this, and he hides all these little household items in places that you would never suspect, and you have a list and you go through and you have to find them, and then there's a prize for the person who finds them. Another way to avoid confrontation over the holidays is to limit the intake of alcohol. In my family, alcohol was always a problem. In many families, alcohol can be an issue at the holidays. So how do you overcome that? Well, one way is not to serve it and to not have it at all. You can have a special holiday punch. You can do something with hot cider on the stove. You can do coffees and teas are very good because they mellow people out and they calm people down by 43%. You can set up your own guidelines in terms of what you want to serve for liquids. And you can change the time of day when you serve your food, so that if you're used to having dinners where people are used to drinking and having alcohol, have it at lunch, or have a brunch and make it breakfasty, and don't serve mimosas and Bloody Marys, but instead make everything virgin. Take care of yourself when you're going to be confronting and dealing with your family. Even if you love and adore them, there's always some tension. So get lots of sleep, at least 7 hours of sleep a night, because the World Health Organization says anything less than that can be carcinogen. And meditate and pray and focus on all the goodness in your life. And if you're really, really concerned about what could go wrong with a given family member, then ask your loved one, your closest, perhaps your husband or wife, to step in and keep an eye out on that person and make sure you don't have to have any one-on-one confrontations. You can take care of yourself. You can have a stress-free holiday, and you can be more prepared than you ever thought possible. You're going to learn more about meals and how to handle those, and loneliness over the holidays. And hopefully this will help you to have a stress-free holiday.